All right, and we are moving forward to question number 30. Oops, sorry about that. I wasn't on the right spot. Question number 30. And we finished question number 29, so we're on number 30. A rental company charges $2 per hour to rent a bicycle. A table showing the prices of renting one bicycle for different amounts of times is shown. Which type of function models the price for renting one bicycle as a function of time? So it's $2 per hour. And that's for every hour going forward to the end of time. It's constantly the same. So if our time is X and our price is Y, X and Y, when our Y is constantly increasing or decreasing by the same amount, we know we have which type of function. Is that linear, exponential, linear or exponential? If it's constantly the same, that's going to be linear. So these exponentials are out. And then it's going up by $2 every time. So is that increasing or decreasing? It's increasing. And you can get some practice in IXL with interpreting pieces of functions, whether they're linear or exponential or quadratic. In IXL with some practice, I said that IXL lesson UEC was probably too easy to get this question right, but it'll help you get somewhat of an understanding. And some other lessons to practice this are VMQ, DHB, LZF, and SP5. All of these kind of go with this topic. And 76% of students in Florida got this question correct on the test last year. So good job, students and their teachers, teaching them how to do that. Question number 31 says, which expression represents the cost of making Y paintings? And I can see Y paintings here. I'm going to go back and read the question, the full question now. An artist earns a profit from selling Y amount of paintings. So P is the profit. His profit P in dollars is modeled with the given equation. His profit is the difference in the amount of money he earns from selling his paintings and the cost of making the paintings. Which expression represents the cost of making the paintings? So we just need to label the pieces of this equation. What is profit? Profit is like how much total you earn after you take away the cost, right? And what does that keyword difference mean? It means you're subtracting, and that's subtraction right there. Difference means to subtract. So it's what he earned in total, but the profit, you got to take out the cost of the supplies and such. So the cost of making Y amount of paintings is this right here, 10 and 53 hundredths Y. I didn't find an exact lesson for this in IXL, but something similar was lesson VHB, and only 39% of test takers got this question right. I feel like that could have been higher. Yeah, but let's continue moving forward. Question number 32. This is one of Algebra's greatest hits. This is something you'll see on your Algebra EOC or your SATs, ACTs, CLTs, any of these tests that have some algebra in them. I call this one of Algebra's greatest hits. You can see right away that D equals V times R, and they want you to complete the equation to represent V in terms of D and R, and they call this rearranging variables. Rearranging variables. And we have this in IXL on lesson WSJ. And to do that, if D equals V times R, you can put the dot for times or not. Either way, same difference. And to get the V by itself, we ask, okay, what's with the V? It's an R. What's the V and the R doing together? They're multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplication? Divide both sides by R, because R divided by R is 1, and 1 times V is V, to give us V equals D over R. I gave you the IXL lesson already for this, and only 36% of students got this question right. I don't know if it's because it's not multiple choice. They thought, oh gosh, this is just too hard, or what. I don't know why so many people missed it, but I feel like more students could have got that right. I'm going to go back over here. We said number 30 was an increasing linear function. Number 31, the cost was the stuff you're subtracting there. And number 32, V equals, here's how you use this, V equals D over R. And that's how you enter that answer in on the test. How am I doing on time? Okay, 7 more minutes. We can keep going. Question number 33 says 2 divers are underwater. One diver is at a depth of 32 meters while the other diver is at a different depth. The given equation can be used to find the possible depths x in meters of the other diver. Enter values to complete the sentence about the other diver's depth in meters. The other diver is at a depth of either blank or blank meters. Okay, and the equation they give us is an absolute value equation. And when you're solving these, I wish I had more space. That's okay. We got absolute value of x minus 32 equals 11. When you have this side, on one side of your equation, if all you have left is an absolute value equation or an absolute value with stuff inside, then you split it off like this into 2 different equations. So we have x minus 32 equals 11. And so we want this to be 11, or we also know that the absolute value of negative 11 equals 211. So when we split this off on this side, we're going to say that x minus 32 could be equal to negative 11. And then you solve each piece of this to give you your 2 answers here for this problem. And to solve it, what do? You solve for x. What do we do to solve for x? Algebra's greatest hits. Most of the time, we are combining like terms. So what are your like terms? Plain number, no variable, plain number, no variable. And it'll be the same thing on both, but we'll get two different answers. So I want to cancel out my minus 32. What's the opposite of minus 32? Add 32 to both sides. And the same thing over here. And these minus 32 plus 32 cancels out to 0 like we wanted to give us that x equals 11 plus 32 is 43. And same thing over here. This cancels to 0 to give us that x equals negative 11 plus 32. My brain is tired, so I'm using the calculator. It's been a long day at school. Okay, so we have our two answers. And I got my answer key. It's right. 43 or 21. And when we were going over this question in class, even though it's not multiple choice, my students, I don't know if we were being silly or what, we decided that, or we were tired, we would just put this in here, x minus 32, close that off, and we would just try different numbers until we get the answer to be 11. And we were putting all kinds of stuff in, like 10 is 21, not 11. And we just kept on trying numbers. 17 is not 11. Keep going. Closer, right? And 21. We know 21 is going to work because we did the math the correct way. And then we also know 43 minus 32 is 11. We've got the answer, but you also, while you're taking your Algebra EOC, students in Florida are allowed to have up to the entire school day. So might as well use your time. And if you're tired, use the calculator for a question like that if you want to. You can practice this in IXL. Lesson 9LF is pretty similar. And only 27% of Florida test takers got this question right last year. Again, I don't know, maybe it's because it's not a multiple choice question. Less students got it right, but I feel like that's a question you don't want to leave on the table. Get some practice and make sure you're getting a question like that correct. Or 21. I will catch you on the next video.